An American actor, Will Rogers, once said, "Don't wait to buy real estate. Buy real estate and wait." But to be honest, you never know how good your investment is until you try to sell it. And the way you approach the sale can greatly influence your earnings. So how can you do it the right way? Today, we'll walk through the best practices for selling homes. You'll learn how to do it the right way and hopefully make a really good profit out of it. Let's get started. So, the first thing you need to do is market analysis, simply because you need to understand what is happening in the market, what options are available, prices, and trends. This is the only way to determine the fair and correct pricing for your property. Plus, you should know what buyers are looking for to make your offer more attractive. To do your research, you can just simply use Google, but the data you get can be unreliable. Instead, try searching NAR's research and statistics site. Now, I know there has been a bit of controversy around NARS and the lawsuits and the commissions and all that issue. We need to keep that aside because the purpose of this video is not to talk about the commission, but how to leverage the tools, which happen to be very good, that's going to help you do the market research in order to make an informed decision. Okay, so now back to the NARS research and statistics site. Here you can find all the info you need, like housing availability or the local economic outlook. This will help you understand the current situation in the housing market. When doing your research, make sure you look into the following. What is the average market price in your area? What is the unemployment rate and average income? This is very important to know because remember, jobs equals income, and no jobs means no actual income, which means that people cannot afford to buy a home or rent yours. How many houses are on sale in your neighborhood? What is the demand for homes in the last couple of years? What is the cost of rent in your area? What type of homes buyers prefer right now? And what is the situation with mortgages? These answers will help you make informed decisions when pricing your home. However, you need to remember that everything changes over time. So the research you did a few months ago may not work now. So remember to constantly monitor your market to get the full picture and to use that information to your advantage. Once you understand everything about your market, the next step will be to find a real estate agent. This person will act as a seller's agent, representing you in the sales transaction. A real estate agent will help you price, list, and market homes, as well as negotiate with buyers. Hiring a real estate agent is not mandatory. As the property owner, you can do everything yourself. This process is known as for sale by owner, or FSBO for short. The biggest advantage of selling your house on your own is that you will save money on the agent's commission. A FSBO transaction will require serious time commitment from you. Plus, you have to make sure you know the industry and understand how the sales process works. I mean, selling a house yourself can be quite draining, especially if you're doing it for the first time. The process of selling a house involves having to take time out of your busy schedule to show it, accept comments from prospective buyers, even when they are negative. It also involves negotiating prices face-to-face. You need to understand contracts and many other things. In my experience, it is best to leave that job to the experts. A good real estate agent will do most of the work for you, like posting ads, communicating with buyers, and completing documentation quickly and professionally. Another great tool agents have is access to the multiple listing service, or MLS for short. This is a database where they can share your listing with other agents and brokers to sell your property faster. Now, let's get to the most important part. How do you find a real estate agent? In 40% of the cases, a personal network helps a lot. Finding an agent through friends and their recommendations is the most popular option. But you can also choose to do it another way. For example, you can use the National Associations of Realtors website. Once you're there, you can do an advanced search by state, city, and even based on their special skills. This way, you can find the contact information of pretty much any realtor. Then you can read their reviews and recommendations on realtor.com. Once you find the agent you would like to work with, you proceed to contact them and set up an interview to make sure they're actually the person you want to work with. Once you decide on who you want to work with, you proceed to sign an agreement with them to seal the business relationship. Now, let's move on to the process of selling the house, which, depending on the stage, could require a lot of documentation. The stage we've been talking so far is called pre-listing, which refers to everything you do before you post your house for sale. And during this stage, you will need the following documents. Homeowners insurance. Sellers should keep homeowners insurance until closing because you want to make sure that there's no gap in insurance coverage. If your property still has a mortgage, then the next document you will need is a mortgage payoff statement. The closing attorney involved in the sale will request a mortgage payoff statement from your mortgage lender. This is only needed if you have a mortgage. If not, you can skip this step. Depending on the type of property, you may need documents from your homeowners association or HOA documents for sure. Your real estate agent will ask you to provide property information and sign several certificates, if any. These type of documents are necessary if you have a condominium, a co-op, or a condo, or if your home is within an area that's managed by an association. These documents are not necessary if you have an independent property. You will also need the agreement you sign with your agent. This is the document I mentioned previously, and it describes the terms and conditions of your agent's services. Your agent might also advise you to have a couple of additional documents such as major maintenance and repair records, property tax records, manuals and warranties for major appliances and systems in your home. As you can see, there is a lot of paperwork, and you might even need more, but your agent will guide you along the way. Now, let's move on to the next step, which is when you actually start selling your property. At this stage, you'll be working on setting a competitive price. Let's go over an example. So let's assume you have this house for sale somewhere in Ohio. The average cost for a single family home there is $212,000. Most of us want to sell our properties above the average price. So how can you do that? As mentioned earlier, you need to study the market to see how much properties similar to yours will go for. Perhaps your research might show you that there are not that many single family homes for sale in your area. And of those available, they probably have a location that is not as desirable or that they might need renovations. So things like that can definitely impact the price of your house. Next, your agent will do a home inspection to assess the condition of the property. In the process, you might note some things you could improve. If you fix them, you can increase the value of your property. Sometimes they could be minor things, like painting the walls with a fresh coat of paint. By doing this, you can set a competitive price. But remember that not everything is about sales and profits. You also have to remember the taxes associated with the sale and your agent's fee. In fact, now seems like a good time to talk about taxes, particularly capital gains tax. If you make a profit when selling your house, you will have to pay capital gain taxes. The good news is that you won't have to pay tax on the first $250,000 if you're single, while for married couples, this number can go up to $500,000. Yet, according to the IRS, there is an exception to this rule if the house you're selling is your primary residence and you have lived there for at least 24 months in the last 5 years. But if you're selling a house you bought recently, or if you're selling an investment property, you will have to pay capital gains tax. The tax rate will depend on how long you've owned the house and your income tax bracket. For example, short-term capital gains, meaning everything less than 12 months, they're taxed as ordinary income. The taxes can go up as high as 37% for high-income earners. Meanwhile, long-term capital gain tax rates are 0%, 15%, 20%, or 28%, depending on the income and the status of the taxpayer. Now, if you want to sell your house without paying any taxes at all, check out this video after you're done with this one. Now, back to pricing your property. After you decide on a price, you need to get your property ready for sale. There's no one-size-fits-all recipe here. If you are lucky and your house is in good condition, you won't need to do any major renovations. Perhaps you just need to do some minor fixes like changing the bathroom faucets, painting the walls, or fixing the porch. But if your house is not in such good conditions, you will have to make more drastic renovations or lower the price of your property. Doing renovations is not mandatory. However, it can help speed up the sales process. People pay more attention to houses that are in good condition. Because what most of us want is either to move in immediately after buying or rent the property out as fast as possible to make money. Therefore, move-in-ready houses are more likely to attract buyers. Once your property is ready for sale, you proceed with the posting of your listings. This can be done by you if you choose the physical route or by your real estate agent. To maximize your posts, you need to make sure that you have good quality pictures. Take them from different angles, showing all the nice things in your property. Then prepare a detailed description of your house. Location, condition, the number of rooms, and everything included in the price. Next, publish your sales posts in sites like Zillow, Realtor.com, or Trulia. If possible, you can also place a physical sign outside of your property. And if all goes well, potential buyers will contact you or your agent and come to see your house. Overall, homes in the US stayed on the market for an average 43 days. There are factors that can help expedite or slow down your sale, such as the nature of the real estate market. If your house is in a hot market, you can expect to sell it faster than in markets with low demand. Another factor to consider is the time of the year. If you want to maximize the sale price and speed up the entire process, many recommend selling in late spring. But this is not a universal rule. And last but not least, the price of the house. If your price is competitive, your property will most likely sell fast. But if the price is on the high end, you might need to wait a little longer because the pool of buyers is likely to be smaller. As you can see, selling a house isn't an easy task, but it's not complicated either if you know what you're doing. Have you ever sold a home before? What was the most challenging part of the process? Share your experience down in the comments, and if you know someone who wants to sell their house, share this video with them to hopefully make their life easier. See you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.